If you're a builder or tradie, you probably had this thought before. How am I this busy but still constantly behind? The jobs are there, the phone keeps ringing, the work keeps growing, but somehow you still feel overloaded. And eventually it gets to a point where you're not just building projects anymore. You're trying to run the entire business by yourself. And that's exactly where most construction businesses start hitting a wall. Today, we're breaking down the three biggest signs your business actually needs offshore support and why more builders and tradies are starting to build remote teams around them. The first sign is simple. You become the most expensive admin worker in your company. And honestly, that happens to almost every builder at some point. You start the business because you're good at construction. But over time, you slowly become the estimator, the project manager, the scheduler, the admin team, customer service, accounts, and operations. And eventually, your entire day disappears into small tasks. Quotes at night, emails early morning, client messages on weekends. And the dangerous part is, most builders think this is just part of the business. But the reality is, if the business depends on you for everything, growth eventually slows down. The second sign, you know you need help, but hiring locally seems too risky financially because once you factor in wages, super, leave, recruitment, equipment, office space, one staff member can cost 70, 80, or even $90,000 a year. And for a growing construction business, that's a huge commitment. So, what happens? Most builders delay getting support. They keep carrying everything themselves. And slowly, the workload gets heavier and heavier. And that's one of the biggest reasons offshore support has grown so quickly in construction. Not because builders want cheap labor, but because they need scalable support systems. And this is where most people misunderstand offshore staffing. Good offshore support today isn't random freelancers online. It's trained remote team members who work inside your systems. People helping with estimating, admin, scheduling, drafting, bookkeeping, project coordination, marketing. And they're trained around Australian construction workflows. Softwares like BuildExec, BuilderTrend, CoConstruct, WonderBuild, and more. When done properly, it doesn't feel like outsourcing. It feels like building an actual support team around your business. And for a lot of builders, that's the difference between surviving growth and actually managing it properly. The third sign, growth has stalled, not because there's no work, but because there's no more capacity. You start saying things like, I'll deal with this later. Once the project finishes, things will calm down. I just need to push through this month. But the pressure never actually stops because the business is still relying on you for everything. And eventually, one of two things will happen. You either start turning down opportunities or you say yes to everything and start burning yourself out trying to keep up. When builders finally get proper support, everything changes. You stop reacting all day. You get systems, you get structure. You finally have people handling the tasks that are slowing you down. And finally, you'll have more time to focus on clients, grow the business, improve operations, think ahead, instead of constantly putting out fires. That's the real value of offshore support. Not just saving money, but creating capacity. At ScaleUp Smart, we help builders and tradies build trained offshore teams specifically for the construction industry. From estimating and admin to project coordination, bookkeeping, drafting, and more. And the goal is simple, to help construction businesses grow without burning out the owner. If you want to see what support would actually look like in your business, start with a discovery call or message the team directly on WhatsApp at 485 977 818. And if you want to learn more about our services, check the links in the description below.